So you may have noticed this sort of odd looking narrow bench in my shop. It's taking up most of the free space in my shop, in fact. This is what's called a Strongback, and it's the foundation upon which you build a strip canoe, or really I think any kind of canoe. Basically what will happen here is it has to be a very rigid foundation. It has to be dead level in both directions, side to side and lengthwise. And the actual molds for the canoes will be fastened at what they call stations throughout the course of this 16-foot long bench. And so really what's going to happen is these molds will be, somewhere close to, if not maybe slightly larger than 20 inches high. And so in order to work on something that high, you don't want a bench that's, full height. You want it to be a little bit lower so that, you can certainly reach both the bottom and the top comfortably. Anyhow, so in my case, I built this bench out of, again, recycled materials, basically materials that I had that were just offcuts, things that were laying around. I didn't want to go out and spend money on brand new plywood and things like that to, to build this if I had, something that could be used. So I recycled some materials that I had. I had some MDF, which is this fiberboard here. I had some 4x4 posts, and so I notched those out on my bandsaw so that the vertical pieces were embedded in the horizontal pieces, and they're screwed and glued in there, so they're pretty rock solid, nice and level. Also cut a little channel in the bottom so that where the bench connects, with the floor, there's just as little surface area as possible to make sure we don't have any rocking or any issues with level. Inside the fiberboard, there are sort of ribs that add strength and stability to the top and the sides, and those are nailed and glued in. I recycled some, pieces of the offcuts from the feet, actually, and some other, pieces of pine that I had laying around. And then I had these 2x2s, and they were really in, kind of bad shape. They're all twisted and bent. So I straightened them out the best I could to get them to, run down the length of this. And it was, it's not going to really matter that they're twisted, just, because I'm going to use that to tie off a rope to or an elastic. So it shouldn't be, any kind of a concern from a structural standpoint. On the top, I actually had a piece of MDO plywood that was really just left over from a previous project. I think it was about 6 feet long and 4 feet wide, which was really nice. I was able to cut it into 3 pieces, and it just fit the top perfectly. So in fact, I had a little bit of MDO left over, and the MDF I was using, I ran out of. So you can see I got the little bit of MDO down here at the end. But this thing's rock solid. I'm about 260 pounds, and I'm able to, sit on it without it moving or, anything like that. So this garage floor is sloping, as it should be, right? Because if you get water in your garage, you definitely want it to flow out. But there's actually about 1.5 inch slope in that thing. So before I put the top on, I secured this end, this back end of the legs to one of those center support ribs that I put in. And I put it in on center with just one screw so that I could, adjust its level from side to side. And then I secured the far end leg the same way, but with a level on top so that, I could, get it nice and level lengthwise. And then because it was just with one screw on each end, those acted as a pivot point, and so I was able to, move it to level and then add some more screws for stability. I also then came in from the other side and put another rib right next to the leg, so that I could put some more screws from the other side in to secure it. So those legs are really rock solid. And I can't really wait to put it to use.